stubbed both of my big toes on walls at different points really badly as well. I was like, ow! Good luck. Have fun.
Need more minerals, but there are plenty of rocks.
I need more minerals. There are plenty of rocks.
We require more minerals.
Not annoying at all. Diva's still the best character. It's all good. So guys, we're going to be doing a little demonstration match here, looking at some PvT scouting. And let's see if we can refine it and kind of focus on more details as we go. So, since I already played one, feel free mods, or I mean, if preferably just one mod at a time, I guess. I don't know who's there. You guys can one or two if you guys could organize it amongst yourselves. Just make sure not everyone's talking. You guys could ask any questions from chat while we go, or just ask for little clarifications as you guys watch. Not non-stop because I do want to be commentating, but just feel free to add those or save them up at least, you know, for whenever there's a quiet point. We'll see how we go. So 16 on minerals, 1 on gas. We're going to go down there and we'll scout in and go for that nexus. We'll get up here ready for the cyber core. So you pause probing on 20 supply. That's how we do it. And it is a 1 gas opening. So we just want to confirm the expansions there. Now, why am I building there? Remember what I was talking about before? Whoops. To change my rally point.
Need more minerals.
Remember, we're building down here to spot if there's a command center. We can even block that a little bit if we want to, but that's all advanced stuff. And we want to talk about scouting. So, oh, I've seen 1 gas. I've seen the CC. Don't need to know anything else. So, let's build that pylon. Second pylon on 20. So it's restart probes after the cyber core. And it's second pylon 22, second gas 21. A little bit late on those this game around. Notice I've queued the rally point here. So this blocks the jumping in. But if you don't set your rally point, your unit might pop out and be trapped. So it's important to always make sure you queue that rally out the backside if you do go for this little semi-wall. And because my adept's late.
Glory to the Daemon. Ire, let your will. Yes, exactly. Where shall we mark?
Alright, so we're going Robo again, and we'll queue up 2 Stalkers, like I said. Super basic build. Adept just needs to go check there's no reacted Hellions or anything like really early Cyclone coming across the map, which there shouldn't be because there's an expansion, so it's like just not possible. But so we've got 2 Stalkers queued up. Observers are on the way, and okay, looks like a 2-on-1. Second barracks. That means we've got a big window where nothing can happen to us. On the other hand, it means that when the things start happening, they're going to be on drugs. Literally on drugs. They're going to shoot very, very fast and cause us some problems. So we want to stay 2 base for now. Now, as I said, this is already a rather conservative, sort of slower third opening. But we want to make sure we get up our defense. Okay, that's odd. Did not expect that. And let's try and get a Colossi out before 5 minutes 30. I don't think we're going to make it, but we will try it.
I am the voice of the eclipse.
If you want to What?
My dad always researches that one.
Oh. Oh, I'm muted on Discord? That was not even on purpose. Nice. Thank you.
Hey. Yeah,
What's
no problem.
up? And there we go. Okay. So, we've got one observer that's going to go in and check what the follow-up is, as well as see this. We've got another observer that's just going to try and follow the medevacs when they do come out across the map. So I am slightly supply blocked because of that. Got an immortal. And 5 more barracks. That tells us it's a 2 base all in, guys. Why? It's barracks, signs of aggression. No command center, no double engineering base. No signs of greed whatsoever. Oh my. Oh my. So we know exactly what we're up against. So let's just get a shield battery there. That's just for the 2-on-1 initially. Though it seems like his medevacs are late, so we haven't really seen anything come across. And I'm going to say, well, he's doing a big 2 base. I still want to get a 3rd because I like to push my advantages. I like to push my greed. You might be like, what? That's crazy. You don't need to do that. I don't. I could play a little bit safer here. But it's something where as long as I take a safe lead on the economy, I'm fine. And then I know I have the confidence to be, oh, I'm ahead in economy. So we've got our first Colossi out. Our second one will be coming out soon. And we're going to be building a handful of workers for that 3rd base. But not a lot of workers. Just a handful. Alright, looks like he's coming down there. So I'm going to make another sentry, because we know this is useful. Natural's fully saturated, so we'll build a total of 6 more probes to go on that 3rd base. Okay, alright.
They're going after a pylon. A classic tactic.
And we chase him out. Now, what are we doing while we wait for all this? Well, if we don't have a Twilight, we don't have a Forge, but more importantly, we'll go Twilight first. We'll skip upgrades, because like I said, big 2 base all in. Don't want to be too greedy. We've got a Colossi. Let's get another Colossi out. 3rd one. Before we go into that. And let's just make sure we produce non-stop out of these 6 or 7 gateways. And this Robo. We see an attack coming across the map. Let's break these rocks down. Now that's a siege tank push, guys. We want to intercept that. He's coming to the left though, so let's go this way to intercept. So we want to try and stop those units from sieging up near our base. And we say, cool. Intercepted the push. We're not super eager to fight that just yet. We're going to build immortals as well. Still not building probes. And we're just going to go for Blink to support this, since I am going to swap into... Actually, let's just go Adept Glaives, because that's the most important for frontal combat, which is what we're facing right now. And we can say, okay, I've built up a big enough advantage. Let's fight. So at this point, we see he's splitting up. So notice I've split my hotkeys using my control group stealing. Obviously a very advanced mechanic, but one which is always good to learn. And we're going to put a few units up there as a drop squad while bringing everything back together. And now we're just going to take him out. So Guardian Shield, and then we can put a few force fields, but not really necessary. And there we go, GG's. So there's a few key things that we're scouting for. We're looking for very, very set tells, and that is our TVP scouting. My man. My man. Thank you everyone for answering with those commands, all the common questions in chat. So I'm not going to answer absolutely every question, but yeah, check it. So early on, probe scouts, and what are we confirming? Number 1. Do you have a second gas? No? Awesome. Looks like a normal build. Let's confirm it's a normal build by checking for the command center. Command center's down, 145. Awesome. Normal build. Go home. Don't need any more scouting until the Adept goes. And the Adept is going to be our second wave of scouting. So let's go to my thing. So, PvT scouting. So what's step 1, guys? Probe checks to see 1 gas and CC down at 145. That's normal build. And obviously if it's not a normal build, we were talking about earlier, maybe you want to do a 1-based response. That's probably the most common safe way. Adept scouts to check production, especially if it's reactor Hellion or yeah, super fast cyclones, in which case we might need some more defense. After that, observer goes straight into their base to check their production. What are we looking for, guys? Signs of greed, signs of aggression, and also specific tells. 2 barracks with a stim upgrading. 5 minutes 30, they could hit with 2 medevacs of stim marines. So we can kind of read stuff like that, right? After that, next observer scout. 3rd CC 2 eBays equals macro. Or 5 racks, no 3rd CC equals 2 base push. That's it. As I said, we just develop a small yet safe lead. We say you're stuck on 2 bases. The most economy my opponent could have in this game, the most economy they could have off this is about 45 SCVs efficiently mining, right? So I looked at it and I was like, that's cool. I'm just going to keep probing up my 2 bases while getting macro. And then I kind of went in, I saw, oh, extra barracks, no 3rd CC. Cool, I'll get a 3rd, but I'll only build a couple of probes for it. Other than that, it's just get my gateways up, keep building out of my robo, keep building more gateway units, get up to 6 or 7 gateways. If you don't have a robo pumping out such important units, say you were playing Blink Charge, you'd be up at 8 or 9 gateways, right? Because you're relying more on the gateways to build your army. Whereas in this case, you're getting these very powerful, expensive colossi out of this, and that's helping you out. So always intercept the push. Now, you're not always going to fight them. Often you'll just move out to push, they'll siege up, and you'll pull back. That slows their push down. And remember, why is this important? Because our gateways are just finishing up. So the more time goes by, the more production kicks in, the more important colossi get out or immortals. And once glaives starts up, we get closer and closer to resonating glaives as well. So we're going to add glaives in a few seconds here. We'll finally get to it. Yeah, I go blink, then I cancel, I get glaives. Glaives is much more important. Blink is there for helping to stop drops and liberators. It's helping like fancy harassment defense and that sort of stuff. But in terms of a front-on fight, adepts are much more important. Tanks murder colossi and stalkers, as do marauders. But adepts are a light unit, which means there aren't the big marauder and siege tank bonuses to armored. So adepts and zealots are both very good units for tanking. And you need to have those in front. Yeah. Q.